do this right because we made it to another
Friday. Ooh, yes, it is.
Yes,
And can you believe it's 3 weeks from yesterday is Thanksgiving?
Wow.
And you
I
need
know.
to beam me up, Scotty.
All right. There you go. Turn up your headphones.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Good. Okay.
Wow.
There.
Isn't it, and Thanksgiving's late this year. So we don't have that extra week.
Yeah.
So it's going to bang into Thanksgiving. And then all of a sudden you're going to, do the little turnaround and Christmas is right in your back door.
Yep. So Todd was saying on the Monday show that only 7 more weeks till Christmas.
Right.
Wow.
But if you want to give something really special at Christmas, you need to go to Mrs. Peters.
Yes.
You can
It'll
send
put a smile on
you
somebody's
can
face.
you can send your loved ones Mrs. Peters fish dip or
Yes, you
anything.
can.
I mean,
You
they
can.
can overnight it.
Yeah.
They have a whole menu. They do catering for the weekends and for all the holiday parties.
Right.
And you can go in and talk to Margarita. You can talk to Rick. You can talk to Gary. You can talk to anyone in there.
Right.
Family friendly place.
And we have some breaking news about that. Tomorrow is going to be their soft opening.
Sauce opening?
No.
That's a good name for that. Sauce. I mean, it's dips and sauce.
Well, it's like sauce, only it's called soft.
A sauce.
Yes.
Sauce is like what you're going to drink on the patio.
That's right.
Well,
Because
that's the condition you'll be in.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been there a while.
Wow, that's right.
You might get a little sauced, but yeah. So the patio is finally getting open,
And
after
it's
all
all
these months of-
landscaped.
Yes.
It looks beautiful. And when I went by today, you couldn't even, there were so many cars there and people were milling around in the parking lot. So that was about 3:45 when I went past.
Great.
It was great.
Good. So we're excited to see that. And you guys really kicked it up a notch. You brought
Actually, yes.
Wow.
Brought crackers.
crackers. We've got Wahoo smoked dip. We've got the smoked salmon dip. That looks really good. And
The eye tuna that you
the
brought,
sea twang.
that was the best. I grabbed that up.
Now this is
And I ate the
this
whole
is
thing.
one of the signature items from original Mrs. Peters, right? Sea
Sea
twang.
twang, yep.
Right.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do during the course of the show is we're
Mermaid
gonna,
and sea twang are different. One's made with mayonnaise and one's made with Miracle Whip. That's the way it used to be.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
See?
Cool Whip was the base.
Okay.
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip. Yeah.
Right.
Cool Whip, Miracle Whip.
No,
yeah.
no, Cool Whip is different than Miracle Whip. They're both mayonnaise or salad dressings. But mayonnaise is different
mix
because Miracle Whip is a little bit sweeter.
Oh, yes. You're
But
right.
Cool
you're right.
Whip
It's
is
more
what
like-
you put on ice cream.
It's what you put on ice cream.
Yeah.
Miracle
Yeah.
Whip.
Yeah.
That might be something
Sorry,
to try with that.
We might try the Cool Whip. You never
Cool
know.
Whip. You never know.
Yeah. But that's be a whole nother dog. Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to do that while we do the show because our listeners love to hear us
Chomp away.
eat. Yes. I've more than one time I've spoken to folks, occasionally actually talk to people in public outside of the radio station. And then people tell me, they said, Frank, some of our fondest moments are those moments when you and Debbie and Craig would sit around the radio station and sample Mrs. Peters' smoked dip. And I said, well, it's nothing like doing that again. And
Right.
so we're going to do just that while we're on the air.
Okay.
Because our listeners love to hear us chew.
And we
eat.
have Rex and we have Gary with us in the
Yes.
house, so they can tell you more about the soft sauce opening tomorrow.
the soft opening. That's right. So this is the salmon dip I'm trying now.
Okay.
So we're going to.
On the subject of
Yeah.
samples,
Mhm.
I recommend everybody that comes in there samples each and every one of our dips. Anything that they would even remotely think they would like,
Mhm.
give it a try.
Yeah.
We recommend
Sorry.
samples,
I reversed it.
and there's no reason to.
Hmm.
I tell everyone when you show up hungry.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a big,
No,
great
that-
place for lunch.
That
Very nice.
is a party.
Very smooth.
This is a party in your mouth.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Peters party time.
All
I
of
like
them
it.
are a party in your mouth.
Mhm.
That's why it's called Mrs. Peters' Party.
Yeah.
I have a good little story about the salmon at Mrs.
Yeah.
Peters. Right
Okay.
after Gary took over, I was smoking salmon fingers, and I knew he's somewhat of a foodie.
Mm.
So I was taking them right out. They just came right out of the smoker, and I grabbed a couple of them and put them on a plate. And laid them down in front of him and
Mhm.
said, "Here you go, try these." And he bit into one, and his eyes rolled back, and he said, "That might be the best thing that I've ever eaten."
Yeah.
And the look on his
Yeah,
face,
They are.
I really honestly believe he meant it. You know,
Well, you have to buy 2 bags or a half a pound and a half a pound because you'll eat a half a pound going
Yeah.
home because you can't stop.
Right.
I fish for
And it
salmon.
melts in your mouth. It's
Yeah.
not like you have to chew anything.
Right.
It just melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
I fish for salmon all over, and I can honestly say that the quality of salmon that they use at Mrs. Peters is as good as I've eaten anywhere.
And,
I mean, it's-
and Rex is the guy that actually is smoking the salmon.
Wow.
He's sort of developed an expertise around the
Good.
smokehouse. And I have to say that's what the excitement is tomorrow is that you're going to be able to sample those
Right out of the smoker.
various, salmon among other
Mhm.
fish out of the smoker.
Yeah. So you'll get the fish hot out of the smoker. You're going to have adult beverages available.
There will
So,
be.
Hence
Right.
the sauce comment. Yes.
It's a 10 to 4
Mhm.
event.
right.
We do have a pretty full menu for tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Pretty good. I could
let's
I
read
could
it.
give you a
That-
little. I could give you
give
the
us-
short version.
Right. Give us a Reader's
But-
Digest.
But the Reader's Digest version here is that there's a number. We obviously have our dips; they're available. But we have a Bavarian smoked pretzel. That's
Whoa.
unique. You don't get that very
The
often.
smoke that has smoked Gouda cheese.
Yep.
That you dip
It's-
for a dip. It's big
That
enough for
sounds
two.
wonderful.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Of course, the smoked fingers, the various species of fish that we offer. We have ceviche, and then we have tacos. So you can
Wow.
have
Now,
a
do you put
taco.
the salmon fingers in the tacos?
You know, it could be, it could be the mahi or the wahoo. You get to pick what kind
Oh.
of taco you have. And then additionally, we have sandwiches available. So it includes the beef brisket, the pulled pork. They're also smoked turkey breast, and then Maryland crab cakes, which it's
Wow.
one of my faves, being from Maryland. And then lastly, we have the soups, and these are developed by Margarita herself. She's the general manager at Mrs. Peters, is for anybody who doesn't know. So there's a seafood chowder, absolutely fantastic. It has a mix of, smoked scallops, shrimp, mahi, wahoo in it. And it is just fantastic.
It's a cream base.
It's
Right.
cream based.
Cream
Yeah, it's a
based.
creamy chowder. And then she also makes a smoked conch chowder.
Wow.
And, that's got a sort of a hint of lime and cilantro. And you can imagine what that's like.
That's more of a tomato base.
Right. Okay.
And then there's some
now, when you
sides.
do smoked conch, do you have to pound the conch first?
Yes.
Mhm.
yes,
Pound the heck
yeah,
out of
yeah.
it. When you
Yeah.
pound it, you need to pound it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the smoking process does kind
Break
of
it down.
break
Yes,
it down.
does.
So,
Yep.
if you've ever had brisket undercooked, it's almost like chewing gum.
And so is conch.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So
And
it
so
does, yeah.
when you
Bubble
smoke
gum.
it for the right amount of time, it literally just
Falls off.
falls off. Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's sides for all of this. So that we have smoked baked beans, everything's smoked, smoked macaroni and cheese.
Right.
The coleslaw
That doesn't
is
take too long to
No,
go
no,
to
it
do
doesn't.
because of that smoke.
Yeah,
You just
holds
want
it-
that smoky flavor in
Holds
there.
your
Right.
smoke very well.
Right.
smoked ribs.
Right.
And so I think the only thing that's not smoked is the coleslaw.
Yeah.
Everything else is smoked.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
so be prepared for
Wow.
a smoky
I'm sorry, I'm
palate.
going to miss it tomorrow.
But I won't.
I know you
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
And I will be behind the bar
right.
handing out the adult beverages
Uh-huh.
or a beverage of your choice.
Yeah, and I'll be a customer
And
at my own place. It's sort of like, when I throw a party, I'm my best guest.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's
That's good.
goes with my character.
and
Well, that works out great. So when people come to Mrs. Peters, they get to visit with the owner,
absolutely.
Yes.
and that's kind of nice. And people love to meet with the people who make things happen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one could ever accuse Gary and I of being backwards or not
Mhm.
be willing to talk to anybody,
Mhm.
So if you want to
That's
check
good.
out the
Yeah, we'll
place,
yik yak
and-
with whoever.
absolutely.
We love
You know.
that.
Now, have you put signs out
Yes.
before tomorrow around the area?
Well, there's one on Northeast Dixie that you see as
Okay.
you pass by, but we've spread the word,
Mhm.
on the grapevine. And,
Okay, and you put it on Facebook.
yes.
Okay.
Good. And then we're
I
putting
need to
it out.
friend you because
Oh, and then
I
we mentioned it on the radio.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I need to friend
we
you
have
on
a-
Facebook.
We have an in with these with Frank and friends.
yes,
Yes.
there you go.
So we're here quite often.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, good. So if you're listening today, when you go to Mrs. Peters tomorrow or
Right.
Sunday or someday going forward, you just tell them that Frank and Deb sent you.
that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I sent someone this morning, Bob Monnier, and I said, when you go there, I said, I don't know if it's going to do anything, but tell them you listen to WSTU and you listen to Frank and Deb.
Absolutely.
I said that and $10 will get you some smoked fish dip.
But speaking of fish,
But he was going to come in and he's a talker
yeah,
and he has pure white hair. And he said to me, I'm leaving here and going down there. So
All right.
speaking of fish dip and the social medias, there's coupons on there all the time. you know,
Okay.
and there was a gentleman right before I left. I can't remember what fish dip he bought, but he bought an 8-ounce container of fish dip, and the young lady ringing him up. It was a little over $5 with the coupon. So I mean,
wow.
you know, you can go in there and get yourself eight ounces. 8 ounces of fish dip is a lot different than like an 8-ounce burger or something. You know, you can sit down and eat an 8-ounce burger, but I know very few people that want to sit down and eat 8 ounces of fish dip.
I'm
That's
going to
true.
try the sea twang.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Very different. Very different.
Mhm. This is really mild
hmm
compared to the salmon.
Salmon is outstanding.
Can you pass the salmon,
Mm.
Frank?
Absolutely.
Sounds like the dinner table.
That's right. You know, at my dinner table, I always say after we conclude the dinner prayers, I always say, "He who reaches the farthest gets the most."
There you go.
Especially when there's a big crowd at the table, right? But that's great. So good. So what beverages do you have available, Rex, that you will be offering the customers when they come to visit with you tomorrow?
We have the usual Bud Light, things like that, but we also have a pretty nice selection of bottles and cans of craft
Mhm.
beer. You know, there's some sailfish there. I'm not sure which ones. Funky Buddha. You know, and we also have wines there too.
Wow.
I'm not, I'm not real familiar with the products, but
Mhm. Well,
I-
that's
that's-
really in
I-
Gary's.
I-
that's
bought-
Gary's.
I bought the wine.
Yeah,
Gary, that's
that's
Gary's.
in your
He's-
wheelhouse.
he's-
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, I figured that. So tell us about the wines that are in there.
Well, I was afraid you were going to ask me that. We have a red.
I hope it's Canyon Road. You can
Well, we
only
have a-
get that through a supplier.
We have a J. Lore, which is a
Okay.
perfectly nice table wine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red. The white, I cannot recall. It's a Chardonnay.
Good.
I
That's
can't
my
recall.
favorite.
The name. So apologies.
Oh no! So it's just not one brand,
No,
No.
there's several different
and
brands.
you'll sell the.
And
if
then we
anyone
have-
likes it, you can sell.
And we
you
have
can take a
soft
bottle
drinks
home.
and
Yes.
etc.
Right.
Like I said, there's different licenses you have. We do not have the license where we can sell mixed drinks, or you can actually purchase the bottle of wine and set at the table and
Right.
serve yourself. I'm almost positive the license that we have is I can be behind the bar. You tell me what you want. I can open it up and hand it to you.
Mhm.
I don't think we're allowed to actually go to the table
Mm.
and deliver to the table. So, but
Right.
I'll be right there on the patio.
Mhm.
It's a very nice gazebo. I mean, we have
Yeah.
it set up nice, and then like I said before, even though Mrs. Peters is so convenient, you're right in the middle of everything, but yet unless it's early in the morning, you get behind a school bus, there's not the amount of traffic where you're sitting right along the road and it's going to bother you.
Mhm.
Steve from downtown did a wonderful job on the landscape.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
I mean, you'll be able to actually sit there,
Mhm.
have a good meal, have yourself a drink or two, and enjoy it, and not be real far
Or
out of
if
town.
you Uber, you can have as
Yeah,
many drinks
yeah,
as
there
you
you
like.
go. But I think it's something that was definitely needed where it is. I mean, there is nothing at that end of town. There's
No.
there's
No,
How many places can you name where you can go out to lunch and have a smoked fish meal? with nice sides and
Mhm.
a beverage of your choice. So it's a unique offering, frankly.
It is.
Well, it's like I said before, the smokehouses in Florida are a dying thing, and doing anything the old fashioned way it's really a thing of the past.
Right.
I mean, with today's fast food age, and you can get everything, they pride themselves on being able to make a burger in 30 seconds or something, where we make things the way it's been made since she started out, 100 years ago.
Right.
And that's what you have to take pride in that,
Right.
So you might come there and, it might take, it's certainly not going to be fast food, but it's going to be good food that you serve
Prepared well.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, when someone comes to you, you've already smoked it. So do you put it back in the smoker to warm it up?
Yes.
Yes.
That's probably the way we will do it.
Just for a couple of seconds to give it that flavor and heat it up.
Well, that's kind of why we have a soft opening, because we really don't know what to expect. I mean, down the road, I think what Gary and I would really like to do is actually maybe have me there smoking all day long. But until you really know what kind of a business you're going to do, you really can't.
Right.
Yeah, you can't anticipate.
It could be a double-edged sword. There might be nobody show up, or there might be way too many.
Right.
So
So
you
what-
got to open the way we are right now.
Yeah, the way the fish is being prepared is it's being cooked, but not fully cooked,
Right. Okay.
smoked.
So, right. So
and then it will be re-entered into the smoker in the morning and then smoked again, so that it brings it to, the full preparation. And we shouldn't lose the
that
freshness.
doesn't
and
stop
juiciness.
anything in separating it like that,
No.
cooking
No.
it like halfway and then cooking
No.
it.
It shouldn't.
No.
It shouldn't.
Uh,
And that's what most people do anyway when they're buying the fish fingers from us and taking them home. I mean, typically they're going to reheat them, and
No, they don't make it home.
sometimes they don't make it home.
They don't
Yes.
make it home.
But if
But
they
I've
do,
I've done that. I get what you're saying, because I've bought
Right.
the-
You
the-
bought it, and like buying a piece of pizza and then you
Right,
go
you
home and reheat it.
put it in the toaster
Right.
oven, and
Right.
then, presto wacko, it's done. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And it gives it that special softness and
Right.
just like it came out of the smoker.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oof.
I'm excited for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a wonderful thing.
yeah, we're excited too. I mean, this is something that Gary and I talked about with Margarita. Margarita and I had small restaurants back home, and it's something, it gives you the personal liberty to do things and make things like you want to make them. I'm really excited for the people to try the chowders,
Mhm.
because Margarita, she's a soupy. She,
That's great.
I'm a little bit bigger than her, and I'll come home and she'll be like, "What do you want for supper?" I'll say, whatever you want. I want soup. And it's like, which I like, don't get me wrong. This chowder has a lot of big chunks of vegetable and fish, but I like soup, but there's times I want something that's a little more meat.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Right.
But she's, I mean, she does miracles with these. You're gonna be impressed with the chowders.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how many soup varieties are there?
There's going to be conch,
Two.
Conch chowder and a seafood chowder, and believe me, they're both loaded with flavor, loaded with product. I mean, there's
Wow.
everything. Pretty much everything's in it smoked. So
my wife might be a big
Oh,
player
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to sample that. She loves Chinese people love fish soups of any sort.
there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, definitely in their dietary wheelhouse. Right.
Well, that's what we talked about
And-
before. I guess everything would be, as far as the dips would be, in the keto diet, which I'm
Right.
not.
Yeah, we
I'm not
talked
up
about
with
that a
it.
couple times.
I'm not up on the keto.
Well,
thing, but
the fish in particular, just because it's it's got a lot of healthy qualities to it. It's sort of lower in cholesterol. Obviously there are no carbohydrates, but it is high in protein, and because it is that lean meat,
Mhm.
it's pretty darn good for you, and it's got the omega-3s that you don't get in chicken or beef.
Mhm.
and it doesn't have any of the other no sodium, because we don't brine anything.
Right.
Everything is just smoked, which is another big thing. A lot of people, and it's
So
surprising.
if there's a salt flavor, if any, is It's just the
It's
natural
from
salt
that, yes.
from within the meat
Yep.
itself.
Yeah.
See, now a lot of the
Unless
fish
it's the
yep.
dip, and then you
Oh, right.
you get
But
some
I'm
from the
talking about
mayonnaise.
the fish fingers
the fish
themselves.
itself.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of the fish when you buy as much product as we do.
Mhm.
A lot of the fish are actually processed right on the ship, and I would imagine they have to be processed in some kind of a salt water.
Mhm.
But like a brine.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's how they freeze it right there. You know, so you're going to get some natural salt from that. But
Right.
as far as a brine, before we smoke anything, we don't. It's all
No salt added.
There's
No
no,
salt.
added
There you go.
preservatives, no added anything.
So have you seen down the street from you where the landscaping place is, the nursery, the free oak firewood?
Yes. He used to
Take
drop it
advantage
off there. Yeah, he used to drop it off. I mean, they don't get as much as we use. you
No,
know,
but I mean,
right.
if you
Yeah.
need some, I mean, it's free.
Yeah.
You just take your
They're-
pickup truck down there.
They're very
and-
nice people.
Yeah,
over
they
there.
are very
Yes,
nice.
very
They
nice
work
people.
hard.
Yes, they do. And that's what we use. You know, if we can't get Australian pine, we use oak.
Okay.
You know, and there's been a few times. You know, usually they'll just
And
drop
it's a
it
little
off.
different smoke flavor
Yes,
Yes.
because different wood has
absolutely.
when you
Yep.
Yeah.
smoke it, it
I
has
would
a different.
imagine so.
Yeah. hmm
If you're a connoisseur, you could probably tell a difference. You know, a little bit.
And I don't think our dips are. I don't think they carry a heavy smoke flavor to them. I mean,
Right, they don't.
You
No,
notice
they
it,
don't. No.
but it's kind of a mild
It's
flavor.
a hint.
You're
Yeah,
right.
it's a hint.
Mhm.
Right.
But some other brands do have a very heavy smoke flavor, and sometimes some companies use liquid smoke.
Well,
on
Right.
fish.
That's the
And
big
that's-
thing. You know, Gary and I, we will
That's
go out
not
and we
particularly
always
appealing.
try to get a fish dip somewhere. You know, everywhere we go when we're out on the road,
Mhm.
he'll be like, "Let's try this fish dip," and you can definitely tell the difference with liquid smoke.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's
they, they call it smoked fish dip. Well, it's liquid smoked fish dip. You
Right.
know?
And I'm not acquainted with that process. So what is that? Is that just a liquid
It's in
that
a
they
bottle.
buy?
It's-
and they
it's-
just
a
stir it?
bottle, and you just
Yeah.
So it's like flavoring added.
right.
It is.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, you're not
Yep.
smoking anything.
Right.
But a lot of people do use that even on a brisket or, you know, whatever they're cooking at home, they'll put that in there. So it,
I would
Makes a
imagine when I made jerky I was from up north. When we made venison jerky, sometimes the recipe would call for liquid smoke. And I personally think that the way they made liquid smoke in the old days was they took like a creosote and liquefied it because
Right.
it has that strong. And you can definitely, I mean, a little bit of that goes.
goes a long way. You just need a drop.
You know, yeah.
Mhm.
you just need
So
a drop.
some of the fit, you know, some of these smoked fish dips where Gary, I'll look at him and it'll, you know, I of course I'm biased and I'm partial, but I mean, we've already looked at each other and it was like, go ahead and finish it.
All right. Well, we have to take our regulation timeout, but we'll be right back. So stick with us because we have
Don't go
much
away.
more.
And we got a Wahoo to open up.
We do, and we want to find out also what to do for the weekend other than Mrs. Peters. All right.
I don't know. That's pretty big. We're back to the party. We
are
are having finally a party in
Yes.
here.
Yeah, a
Mrs.
party in our,
Peters.
we're having a
Mrs.
party in our
Peters.
mouths
It's
right
a
now.
dip
Yes.
smorgasbord.
Yes, it is.
Now we're gonna.
Try Wahoo.
I'm gonna open up the Wahoo while you read the news minute.
Okay. A news minute for Friday, November 8th from Barbara Cloudis. And it's with 7,000 residents within the boundaries of the new village of Indiantown and an annual budget of around $5 million, its council members are taking bold steps. Initially set up to be a model of Weston, a city of 60,000 with only 10 employees of its own, outsourcing all its major services. Indiantown changed its path since incorporation less than 2 years ago to bring all services in-house. They are in the process of taking over parks, roads, fire rescue, and now looking at the purchasing and upgrading of the Indiantown Company, a private utility supplying water and sewer services to a large portion of the village. Its council members contracted a consultant, Hartman Consultants LLC of Winter Park, at a total cost of around $98,000. The council approved an exclusively negotiation agreement during a special meeting last night that set a deadline of March 2020 and approved the next two phases of work by the consultant. Despite warnings by Kevin Powers, a member of the Indiantown pioneer family and Indiantown businessman, to slow down. He pointed to a recent feasibility study by Kimley Horn Engineering Consultants that showed the cost of upgrades to bring the utility up to standard would be about $27,300,000 in addition to the purchase cost. The village consultant, Gerald Hartman, poo-pooed the Kimley Horn estimate, saying that the estimate was to bring it up to Martin County standards. But the utility could be brought up to the standards for far less, which is yet to be determined. Powers' concern is that the purchase would significantly increase the cost to Indiantown residents for sewer and water. The News Minute is brought to WSTU 1450 audience by Martin County Currents, your alternative source to local news. Wow, that's a lot of money, $27 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
But
wait,
they're
there's
part
more.
of Martin County. Why wouldn't they bring them up to the standards of Martin County? I mean, what would be a substandard because Martin County has its own precedents?
I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, no, I'm not either.
Yeah.
But it was just a question in my mind as
Right.
I'm reading this. You know, they're
Well,
part of Martin County.
Every municipality sets its own regulations and limits. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, good luck,
Yeah.
the village of Indiantown. And
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a village. I just thought Indiantown was Indiantown.
Well, yeah, they established themselves as a
And
village.
now it's incorporated.
Right. It's incorporated as a village. And they use the
okay.
village title instead of the city title.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your news minute for Friday, November 8th.
Very good. Which is also happens to be my son Scotty's birthday.
Today, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Is he in town, out of town,
He
up
is-
above,
he
down
is
below?
out of town. He is actually traveling with his buddy. They went to a car show in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
Yeah, so, and he's a
Is it Barrett,
You know, like-
Barrett Jackson?
well, like Gary's a foodie, right? Scotty is a car foodie. He is like,
Right.
a car nerd. And so whenever anything's going on in the automotive industry, he wants to be a part of it. So I guess there's some new products are being released. You want to learn more about it? And so-
I know everyone's been flocking down to the Chevy dealer in Stewart to see the 2020 Corvette
yeah.
because
Well,
now
the
the
mid-engine.
engine's in the back.
It's called a mid-engine car.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And Gary said he's going to get one.
There's
his garage.
a waiting list.
They are good looking. I have to say, I've
Yeah.
seen the
I haven't
photos.
seen one yet, but
Oh.
I said, do they look any different than the later models? And they said, no,
No.
the engine's in the back.
Well, it's almost
Well,
in
it's
the
more
back.
mid-engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has more of the European exotic car look.
Mhm.
It
Oh.
really is quite appealing looking.
Like a Lamborghini. Almost.
Yeah.
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 Oh, but
Well,
they told
yeah.
me that the outside didn't look any different. So I haven't seen it. So I can't.
It
Fathom.
is
It does look different.
Oh,
it
okay.
does look
Yeah.
different. It looks kind of like
And can I ask what the
the
bottom price of one of them
It's
is?
going to be a little pricey.
I think they're like, I thought I saw they start at like 70,000 or something.
Oh, okay.
That's
That
not
would
too
be
Yeah, it's not
feasible.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
70,000, but that'd be bare bones.
Bare
so to
bones.
get the
Right.
one you really want,
There's no
probably
bare bones when
gonna
it comes
be
to a Corvette.
80 to 100, I think, to get it all tricked out the way you really want. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess, yeah. But
Yeah, and the mid-engine centers the weight better in the
Right.
vehicle.
I
So
bet it does.
it would
Because it was
probably
a
drive
terrible
better.
ride. I'm sorry. I love the Corvette, but it's a terrible ride.
Yeah,
It's bumpy and and then you got to roll in and roll out.
yeah,
I'm sure you still have to do that.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's where the Tesla's got the gull wing doors, which is kind of neat, you know.
Right. Yeah, they have a thing. It was on Facebook about a guy trying to get out of a little sports car, and it took him like 5 minutes, and he finally put his back end out and fell on the ground because he couldn't get out of the car. And
Oh,
it was funny.
I don't know if you can get as many clowns though in this particular
I'm sure
model.
not.
Just a guess.
no, yeah, probably what just the driver and a close friend. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
It's the driver and their dog.
Yeah, probably. That could be their close friend. Sure.
Right. Yep.
A man's best friend.
That's true.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to venture down to the Chevy dealer on Monday, and
so
I'm
I'm
going
gonna-
to Crown Car Care on Monday.
Good. And speaking of Crown Car Care has got a new sponsor is going to sponsor their show, and that's Monster Drinks.
Oh, okay.
And so that's kind of
That's an energy drink.
It's an energy drink, and Maserati will be advertising on WSTU radio.
Get out of here,
Yeah,
Maserati.
Yeah.
Is
And guess what?
is Todd going to get one and he's going to bring it here? I'm going to be here.
Yes, Todd is going to do a test drive.
I want to be
We're
there.
going to do a live in studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And what we probably
I know he
should-
did a Tesla.
what we need to do, probably see if we can create some synergy between Mrs. Peters and Maserati, and maybe use the Maserati as a delivery vehicle. I love that. I think
I
that's
think
some
they're gonna
possibility.
That's
use
thinking outside the
I
box.
think a drone. I think Mrs. Peters would be better off with a drone.
that would be, I mean, like with a,
If you're in Rio and you want Mrs. Peters, you put it in a little box,
With
the
a-
drone picks it up and drops it off.
with an English butler's uniform,
There you go.
delivering your Mrs. Peters out
Yeah.
of a Maserati. I think nothing looks better than that.
A
Maybe we
French maid with a short skirt.
Well, that's another notion.
I'm,
but-
I'm afraid the drone idea is probably coming around before. I mean, who would have ever thought with everyone sitting here one day we'd be even talking about that?
I'm
But
going to have a Jetson car.
yeah.
You know, with all. I can see that happening with the big drone, and you're just flying around.
Well,
They predict the flying cars will be here in the
Oh,
next 20
yeah.
years.
well, you saw that Amazon was talking
yeah.
about deliveries with drones.
They
Yes.
still are.
But now you
And
have
at FedEx.
You have this Uber. Uber will pick up.
Right.
I mean, I know when it first came around. I don't know which one it was. Grubhub
Right.
came to Mrs. Peters, and I mean, you actually could call up and say, "Hey, I called the taxi, and I want
Or
I
they
want
call the
a
taxi,
yeah.
and the taxi calls up and gets
I want
it.
a Wahoo
Either way.
and a Mahi, and they deliver it right to your
Yeah,
house."
that's Uber Eats.
That-
Is
okay,
Right.
Uber Eats, and
Yeah.
I think Grubhub's another one. But I mean,
Right.
who would have ever thought?
And there's another local
growing,
outfit called Eats Delivered, if
Yeah.
they still exist. But that was a locally formed outfit.
But I know, I mean, that they would call up and say, "Hey, I want a couple Mahi and a Wahoo," and you give it to the driver, and they,
And it's the store price. That's the amazing
Yeah.
part. And
that's. But I don't think that Mrs. Peters will be delivering fish dip with a drone anytime soon.
no.
you know?
Maybe in a
no,
Maserati.
we just had our truck wrapped with
There
our
you go,
label
but
today.
but you can send for Christmas. You can cold pack it like you brought in
Absolutely.
today,
Yep.
and it can go out.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a
FedEx
little
or
pricey.
overnight it.
you can.
I
And there's a
wish-
special
yeah.
cost. And I think the more you buy, the less expensive it actually is. Because if you're going to send one little fish dip, it's going to cost you as much as spending four.
You wanna
Absolutely.
load
Or-
that
We
puppy.
do. We have people that literally will spend over $100 on a FedEx for a $35 worth of dip. But that's how badly they want it.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a good testimonial
Yeah.
Yes.
for the product.
Well, Gary and I talked about that. We that was one of the things when he first took over. We sat down and talked. Is there some way we could get the product two more people, like, because like you're saying, there is a lot of snowbirds that call up and say, is there any way we can get dip up there? You know, we were trying to expand to get it to more places because of our loyal customers.
How's your fresh market going, or the Whole Foods?
Well, that's going to be a process. So, you know, it's they are a high hurdle business to get into, and it's not going to happen until about sort of the January,
That's
February
right.
time
Oh, okay.
frame. Yeah, and some things have to fall into place for them so that they can get it delivered to all their stores, you know, in a timely fashion. So that's a little ways
The
off.
nice
but-
thing about this, it doesn't expire soon because it's smoked.
Right, 35 days
35
shelf
days.
life if you don't open it. And then if you do open it, then we
Then it's
recommend
gone.
keep it no longer than 7 days to be safe.
No one lasts 7 days.
Yeah,
No, once
I
you
would
open
think
it, it's
so,
gone.
yeah.
it's like fish and friends, the old
Mhm.
statement.
Yeah. 3 days.
I don't know which goes worse first, but
Yeah.
goes bad. I should have said goes badly first.
I love it.
So we have to take one more little break,
It's
and then
true.
we're going to figure out what's going on. We got the mustard coming on tomorrow at the Navy SEAL Museum.
All right. Put a little bit of mustard on it. No, that's a different mustard.
On the dip
All right.
and the sauce.
And we're back.
We are on the last 15 minutes
Yes.
of today.
Yes.
We still got a party here in front of us, which is wonderful.
Yes.
So we got the Mustard and Music Festival honoring the 75th anniversary of D-Day.
Mhm.
This is the weekend at the National Navy UDT SEAL Museum, 3300 North State Road A1A, north of Fort Pierce, on Friday happy hour. Then we've got Saturday and we've got Sunday.
All right.
Things going on all weekend. And it's Veterans Day on Monday. Banks will be closed. I think schools, are they closed on Monday too?
Could
You
be.
know, I
It's
don't
a
know
holiday.
anymore
Yeah.
what they consider to close the schools or not. Little Jim's Bait and Tackle 75th anniversary celebration also is live music 4 to 10 p.m. Friday, noon to 10 p.m. Saturday at the North Causeway. The Treasure Coast Brew Fest is 1 to 5 p.m. Saturday at Tradition Square in Port St. Lucie. They will have 300 craft beers from more than 60 breweries. That's a lot. That's a lot to go. We got Martin County. The Treasure Coast Community Singers, Chamber Singers perform Puccini's Messa de Gloria at 4 p.m. Saturday at Palm City Presbyterian Church. And then Sunday at Trinity Methodist Church on Savannah Road in Jensen Beach. It's Shopapalooza this weekend in downtown Stuart. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, and visit participating shops for sales on clothes, shoes, accessories, home goods, gifts, and art. For more information, go to facebook.com/downtown Stuart. Fall Fest at First Baptist Church of Jensen Beach, which is on Jensen Beach Boulevard, is 3 to 6 p.m. Saturday at 1400 Northeast Jensen Beach Boulevard. Taste of the Holidays at the Fresh Market is noon to 4 p.m. Saturday and Sunday on East Ocean in Stuart. And I think they're also doing it in Vero Beach at the Fresh Market. There you go. We got lots going on this weekend. We've got Sandy Paws and Pets People Parade 3 to 7 Saturday at Marina 1 Avenue A, Fort Pierce. We got the 4th annual Hot Wheels car show is noon to 8 Saturday at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center. Let me go back here a little bit. The bonfire and hayride at McCarty Ranch is 3 to 7 tomorrow at Range Line Road, Port St. Lucie. That's out in St. Lucie West. So there's lots going on this weekend. If you're bored in Martin, St. Lucie County, shame on you.
It's your own darn fault.
And you
You're
can
bored.
go shop till you drop in downtown Stuart, Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
And do
The
you believe?
Shopapalooza.
Yes. Sesame Street turns 50.
Aw.
Can you imagine 50 years of Sesame Street?
So I was 16 years old when Sesame Street started.
Okay.
Wow.
You didn't even care about Sesame Street then because
I
you were
did-
too old to do that.
No, but my kid brother, he probably enjoyed it. He's 6 years younger than me. So I think he got some appreciation for Sesame Street.
Yeah. Okay. Sesame Street was really, to me, devised for really young
Yeah, it
younger
was.
kids.
It was.
And give them manners
Yep.
and, good lessons. What happens when you have a fight or you
Mhm.
have a conflict with somebody and how to work it out.
Under
with the person.
conflict resolution. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
all good.
Yes.
So,
what
you
do
have
you-
a full day tomorrow.
Oof, yeah. So I'm going to go visit with Mrs. Peters. I have some blinds that came in for one of my neighbor friends. So I get to help with that installation. So
Okay.
that's always fun. And as if I don't have enough to do,
I
but
know.
it's good.
It keeps your mind working.
Yeah.
So-
So very good. And you're going to be busy this
I'm going to
weekend.
be busy all weekend too. And it's from now until May.
Yeah.
We got all the festivals, all the holidays coming up, all the things that you got to do and get
Right.
prepared for. And it's just
Well, you want
somewhere there's
you want
a
to
festival.
go to the Stuart Main Street or the Stuart Downtown Business Association, the DBA website, and for the events calendar
Mhm.
for City of Stuart, it actually hyperlinks you to Stuart Main Street. If you go to the City of Stuart events calendar, there's also the Stuart Main Street, right? And then the events calendar is always the Riverwalk stage.
Oh, yes. And it's Hawk Levy this weekend.
Mhm.
Hawk and the Night Riders, I believe it's called. That's
Mhm.
this weekend.
Right.
And then we've got another good band. And then we have the Nouveau Honkies are back
Right. So
for the end of November. So
mhm,
and then we've got all the fall rummage sales and Christmas bazaars.
mhm,
We've got next weekend is the Church Ladies rummage sale,
mhm.
which is at 1715 Northwest Pine Lake Drive. That's off of Britt Road, the big Presbyterian church there. That would be from 9 to 1 a.m. Saturday, November 16th.
Mhm.
All Saints Episcopal Church is next weekend. No, it's the 23rd.
Ah,
They have their Christmas bazaar on the 23rd.
mm,
Everyone is having sales, rummage sales,
right,
bazaars, all for the holidays that are coming up.
right.
And remember, Thanksgiving's less than 3 weeks.
Wow.
I know. And then Christmas, we don't get that extra week.
Yeah.
it's just going to be bang.
Yeah.
And Todd was right. It's like 7 weeks till
Yeah.
Christmas.
Boom.
Boom.
Bada-
And then it's
Bada boom, bada bing.
2020.
Yeah, I know. Another year.
Another year gone
And-
by. And this one went by really
Oof,
fast.
I know. Even my wife said that. She's, I can't believe it. You know, it's just wow.
Yeah.
But so January 1, Stuart Main Street takes over the Flagler Center. That will be
Okay.
our new home office. That will also be available for folks interested in any activity, social groups, different activities. If you want to do bingo there or whatever you want to do,
Right. Drag
You're-
queen bingo. Yes.
it could be. And so there's an opportunity. I talked to Mike texting wise on the phone yesterday and to see if there was some interest because I know he does trivia night for
Oh.
one of the local
Oh,
bars,
Right.
restaurants
Uh-huh.
here in town.
Right. At the
And-
Colorado Hotel.
Mhm. And so there might be opportunities for them to want to do that, take that,
Bigger and
yeah.
better.
take it to a bigger venue. So that's a possibility. So we'll look forward to that.
And if any kind of party you
Mm-hmm.
want to, you have a wedding,
Mm-hmm.
baby shower,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have a Girl Scout event, a Boy Scout event, a
Mhm.
4-H event. You know, we have Tykes and Teens. When is their event this year? It should be up one of these weekends.
Yeah, coming up. Well, we got to get somebody in here from Tyson Teens.
We should.
Yeah.
I should call Lisa Teeter
Yes, let's do that.
because she does Reese all the time and she would know who to call
Right.
from
All right.
Tykes and Teens.
All right. Well, put
So
you
that'll
on
be
that.
on my list for this
Okay.
week to
All right.
figure out. And I don't think we missed it, but I think it's coming up ASAP.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
So.
And they'll sign up next year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's lots of things to do with that big center.
Mm-hmm.
And is there, you can bring your own caterer.
Yes, because we do not provide.
Is there a kitchen of some
There's-
sort?
It's kind of like a
a main
kitchenette. It's kind of
Okay.
like it's like a transition place, so you can bring things there, and it's got cabinet
Set up and-
doors and set up, and it's countertops, and that sort of thing. So there is a workstation, if you will,
Okay.
so that you can receive materials in, and then bring it to the necessary room that gets the food.
Okay.
So that works out real well, and it's pretty centrally located, so it's pretty handy.
We should maybe contact some of the caterers in town. You should, or
Mhm.
whoever, and see if they don't want to have their own event there to show off what they do. Showcase it.
Kind of a caterer's bonanza
Right.
weekend. Yeah, there's a possibility.
Like not like the Taste of Martin County, but just
Right.
like when the holidays come up, you know what caterer does what, and you
Mhm.
have their menu, you have a price list, you can call and order up, you can have them set up, or you can go pick it up.
Right.
I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
A bakeries and caterers. I mean, there's so many people that do so many different things, like Mrs. Peters. That would be perfect for them.
Right. Right. And so when people are planning to do a wedding, no matter what the venue or location, they can come by and sample all the different foods and products
Right.
at these at the one-stop shopping,
Right.
and then they can decide, for their whatever their activity, wherever it's going to be, what they wanted. That kind of gives them a leg up on who to choose to provide
Right.
them the food
And,
services.
and it would be a low cost ticket to get in.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
I think
then-
that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
So we'll have to work
You
on
better
that.
be careful. I might put you in charge of that.
Oh God, not another thing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
here
you're
we go.
already in charge of.
And I'm working on my
Yeah.
volunteer list.
and we gave you a good Mark Bruckbill gave
I
you.
did because I already knew to ask him,
Mhm.
and that was funny because I was going to go upstairs, and he walked in
Yeah.
the studio, and that was just perfect.
Yeah.
He gave me a name. I have
Right.
the name,
Right.
so I will contact her,
Mhm.
introduce myself.
Right.
Yep.
And there you go.
I've talked to a couple people, and they said, "Just call us, and we will get you volunteers." And I
Sweet.
wrote down their names.
Nice. Good.
We have a lot of good organizations around here,
We do.
and you know what? It's fun that Martin County works together
Mhm.
with mostly everybody. If you need something, don't be afraid to call a rival. They'll pitch in.
Absolutely. We're one big happy family.
Yes, we are.
I'd like to think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're bored in Martin County this weekend,
Get
St. Lucie, Indiantown, Vero Beach, Indian River County, Palm Beach, your fault because there's too much to do.
That's right. All right. I hope we gave you some food for thought.
Good food for thought with Mrs.
Yeah.
Peters. Party time.
All right.
Thank you.
All
We'll
righty.
see you next week.
All right. Take care.
Ciao.